Fox News parted ways with one of its most popular hosts earlier this week, and it's created quite a stir through conservative, especially far-right social media. Tucker Carlson was like a gateway drug for spreading misinformation and conspiracy theories during his show, and this extreme right-wingers ate it all up. White supremacist message boards such as 4chan and Stormfront have been flooded with messages after Carlson's firing, saying things like, quote, "Tucker's one of the last our guys," and "bad times coming, Anons." Been obvious for a while, but it seems to be reaching its apogee. The future of the far-right views in mainstream media is now up in the air, depending on who Fox News executives handpick for that coveted primetime hosting gig. Joining me now for a deeper dive is NBC News senior reporter Ben Collins. Ben, you're always on top of this, and so I really wanted to bring you in to have a little bit of a more nuanced conversation. Because, look, Fox News, it has an opportunity to reset here, right? They've just had to settle with Dominion for $787.5 million. They're still facing other litigation. Fox can finally usher out the QAnon, 4chan conspiracy theories that Carlson featured on his show. But, Ben, do you think Fox will bring in someone just like Tucker, or maybe they can't replicate that recipe for success?
That's the $20 million question is, do you just want to replace this guy? As I talked to Eric Owens, this guy who used to work for Tucker at the Daily Caller, who is now repentant, by the way, about what that site has become. And he said, are they going to take this responsibly? Or are they trying to avoid lawsuits in the future in this new reality where they do get sued for these lies? Or do they want a newer and cheaper Tucker Carlson, is how he put it. And I think we are in this mode now where if they want to keep their cable deal, it might behoove them to not get the newer, cheaper Tucker Carlson. The way that Fox really makes money, it's not really as much through advertising as people think. It's mostly through carriage fees. Basically, they have to go to Comcast and Verizon and say, for every person that subscribes to your cable, we get $3 of that or $2 of that or something. They're renegotiating these deals right now. They were asking for $3, and it seems like, the cable companies are balking, in part because these advertiser boycotts against Tucker. He can't get regular ads in his show. It's just the MyPillow guy and Fox Nation ads. So, they have to make a decision about what this network is. Is it a place to gin up the craziest stuff and try to pop a rating every night? Or is it a place that does the news and can still get carriage fees from big companies?
Well, listen, and we know, and this is evidence, that it was profits over the truth for Fox News when it came to Dominion. Earlier this week, you tweeted, quote, white nationalists like Nick Fuentes called Tucker's show soft red pilling, or a way to slowly radicalize normies. It's slowly dawning on extremist forums that the most important part of that red pilling pipeline is gone and it has no replacement. Ben, this just goes to show right-wing websites and forums, they're feeling the loss, as their content, like the Great Replacement Theory, likely won't be featured as much on mainstream media. So how do you think these far-right extremists are now going to be able to bring their conspiracy theories to a bigger audience?
It's a good question, Katie. And, I think we were talking about this yesterday. Doesn't it just seem quieter? It's only been like 5 days. It's been 6 days without this. Does. And it is quieter. And it's because they don't have that pipeline anymore. The pipeline for the 4chans of the world was to get stuff in front of Donald Trump's Twitter account back in the day when he had one that was really active, where he'd get up in the morning and just retweet a bunch of stuff that would get everything blown up. Then it turned to Tucker's A block, the top of his show. We can get, some of our talking points at the top of there, they would say, even if they were just abject lies, which he would do right till the very end of his show, that was a win for them. But they don't have that. They don't have that into the mainstream anymore. Well, somebody who can, pipe their stuff into military bases. You gotta remember, Fox News is on mandatorily in commissaries and military bases. There's no way to get into the American ether, into the American ecosystem, people who aren't extremely online, people who are on 4chan and stuff. There's no way anymore. So that trust me, they will find a way. They always do. But in the months without Tucker, who is probably their most successful project yet, I hope people look back and understand, wait a second, we don't have to fight about gay M&Ms anymore and Bud Light and all this stuff. We can just live our lives. And I really do hope that people understand that.
Ben, I got less than a minute. I'm going to push back, though, because
Sure.
I feel like the far right is now the mainstream. And I feel like the gay M&Ms and the anti-woke and all of that absurdity is no longer absurdity. It's the norm. Do you think the lasting legacy for Tucker Carlson is actually going to be the fact that he successfully brought that extremism and it's no longer extreme? It's actually right down the middle?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the lasting legacy is we didn't talk about the great replacement theory in public 5 years ago because it was humiliating to do so because it's a white nationalist talking point. And now it's part of American politics all of the time. So he was uniquely skilled at this. He put $5 words on the dumbest 4chan posts available, and then that made them allowable to print in the newspaper. That's just gone. So I don't know what happens next. And I know it's very easy to get addicted to outrage with how the internet works and how cable TV works. But I just hope people just take a step back. We've been inside for a few years. Hopefully people are going back outside and doing stuff this summer. I hope they understand that the world's quieter. It's because this guy went away.